You know, there comes a moment in every person's life when something shifts. Not a small shift, not a tiny adjustment, but a complete transformation in how you see yourself and the world around you. And right now, right here in this moment, I want to talk to you about something that might be happening to you without you even fully realizing it. Your spiritual awakening, that beautiful period of confusion, wonder, questioning, and growth might actually be complete. And if it is, you're standing at the edge of something magnificent. You're standing at the place where you stop being a student and you become a master of your own existence. Now, I need you to understand something fundamental. A spiritual awakening isn't meant to last forever. It's not supposed to be a permanent state of questioning and seeking. It's a phase, a necessary phase, but it's preparation. It's like being in school. You don't stay in school your entire life. You go to school to learn, to grow, to develop skills, and then you graduate. Then you go out into the world and you use what you've learned. That's exactly what happens with spiritual awakening. You've been in the classroom of consciousness. You've been studying, reading, meditating, questioning everything you thought you knew. And now, if you're experiencing these signs I'm about to share with you, you've graduated. The universe is tapping you on the shoulder and saying, okay, you've learned enough. Now it's time to live it. It's time to use your powers. The first sign that your spiritual awakening is complete is this: you've stopped seeking. Really think about that for a moment. There was a time, maybe not so long ago, when you were hungry for answers. You read every book you could get your hands on. You listened to teachers. You went to workshops. You watched videos. You meditated for hours, trying to find something, trying to reach somewhere, trying to become someone different than who you were. You were seeking enlightenment like it was some destination on a map. But now, something has changed. You're not seeking anymore because you found what you were looking for. And what did you find? You found that it was inside you all along. You found that you are what you were seeking. There's nowhere to go, nothing to find, no one to become. You already are everything you need to be. This isn't intellectual knowledge anymore. This is lived experience. This is knowing in your bones. When you stop seeking, when that restless hunger finally settles, it doesn't mean you stop growing or learning. It means you've shifted from seeking to being. You've shifted from becoming to recognizing what already is. This is huge. This is the difference between a student and a master. A student seeks. A master knows. The second sign is that you're no longer attached to being spiritual. This might sound strange, but stay with me here. During your awakening, being spiritual became part of your identity. You might have changed how you dressed, what you ate, who you spent time with. You might have adopted certain practices and made them a big part of who you are. You identified as a spiritual person. You wanted others to see you as awakened, as conscious, as aware. But now, that attachment is gone. You don't need to prove to anyone that you're spiritual. You don't need to look spiritual or act spiritual or talk about how spiritual you are. You simply are who you are. And consciousness flows through you naturally without any effort or performance. You can eat a hamburger without feeling like you're betraying your spiritual path. You can watch television without guilt. You can be fully human without feeling like you're less spiritual. Because you've realized that spirituality isn't something you do or something you become. It's what you are. It's not separate from being human. It's the essence of being human. When you lose the attachment to being seen as spiritual, when you lose the need to identify with it, you've actually become truly spiritual. You've integrated it so completely into your being that it's no longer a label or an identity. It's just you, living your life, being authentic, being present, being real. The third sign is that you've made peace with your ego. Oh, the ego. During your awakening, you probably spent a lot of time trying to kill your ego, transcend your ego, get rid of your ego. You saw the ego as the enemy, as the thing standing between you and enlightenment. But something has shifted now. You realize the ego isn't your enemy. The ego is just a tool. It's the part of you that navigates the physical world. It's your personality, your preferences, your individual expression. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem was never the ego itself. The problem was identifying exclusively with the ego and thinking that's all you are. But now you know better. You know you're not just your ego, but you're not separate from it either. You're the awareness that includes the ego. You're the space in which the ego appears. And from that place of awareness, the ego can do its job without running your life. It can help you set boundaries, make decisions, protect yourself when necessary, express your unique gifts, all without controlling you or defining you. This peace with the ego is a massive sign of completion, because when you stop fighting yourself, when you stop trying to destroy parts of yourself, you finally become whole. You finally become integrated. And from that place of wholeness, you can create miracles. The fourth sign is that other people's opinions don't shake you anymore. During your awakening, you probably went through a phase where you were super sensitive to energy, to what other people thought, to criticism, to judgment. You might have isolated yourself to protect your energy. You might have cut people out of your life because they didn't understand your journey. You might have felt like you needed to surround yourself only with like-minded souls who got it, but now you're different. Now you can be around anyone and remain centered. Someone can disagree with you, criticize you, misunderstand you, even attack you, and you don't crumble. You don't need to defend yourself or prove yourself or make them understand. You know who you are. You know what's true for you. And other people's opinions, while you might consider them, don't have the power to define you or disturb your peace. This isn't about being cold or disconnected. It's about being so connected to your own truth that external noise can't throw you off course. You can listen, you can be compassionate, you can even change your mind if something resonates, but you're not at the mercy of everyone else's perspective anymore. You trust yourself, you trust your inner guidance, and that trust is unshakable. This is power. This is real power. Not power over others, but power over your own state of being. No one can make you feel small anymore unless you choose to feel small. And you're done choosing that. The fifth sign is that you see perfection in everything, even the messy parts. During your awakening, you might have had moments of seeing the beauty in everything, those peak experiences where everything seemed perfect and interconnected and divinely orchestrated. But you also had moments of falling back into judgment, into seeing things as wrong or bad or needing to be fixed. You oscillated between those two states. But now something has settled. Now you see that everything is exactly as it needs to be. Not in a passive, do-nothing kind of way, but in a trusting, allowing kind of way. You see that the person who hurt you was playing their perfect role in your growth. You see that the failure you experienced was actually redirecting you towards something better. You see that even your own mistakes and flaws are part of the perfect unfolding of your life. This doesn't mean you don't take action. It doesn't mean you don't work to improve things or help people or create change. But you do it from a place of acceptance rather than resistance. You do it from love rather than fear. You do it because you're inspired to, not because you think something is fundamentally broken. When you can look at your life with all its ups and downs, with all its beauty and pain and say, yes, this is perfect. This is exactly what needed to happen. You've reached a level of consciousness that most people never touch. You've transcended judgment. And from that place, you become a powerful creator because you're not working against reality anymore. You're working with it. The sixth sign is that you're no longer waiting for anything to be happy. This is enormous. So many people spend their entire lives waiting to be happy when they get the relationship, the money, the house, the body, the success, the recognition. During your awakening, you might have been waiting to be happy when you finally got enlightened, when you finally figured it all out, when you finally healed all your wounds, when you finally became the person you thought you should be. But now you're done waiting. You realize that happiness isn't something that happens to you in the future. It's something you choose right now. It's not dependent on external circumstances. It's not even dependent on internal circumstances, on whether you feel good or bad in any given moment. It's deeper than that. It's a fundamental okayness with life as it is. It's a peace that exists regardless of what's happening. You can be sad and still have this happiness. You can be going through a difficult time and still have this happiness. Because it's not happiness in the conventional sense. It's contentment. It's presence. It's being fully here, fully alive, fully engaged with whatever is happening right now. When you stop waiting for life to begin, life actually begins. When you stop postponing your joy, joy becomes available in every moment. This is freedom. This is what you've been looking for. And it was never in the future. It was always right here. The seventh sign, and this is the most important one, is that you feel called to serve, to give, to contribute. During your awakening, a lot of your focus was internal. You were working on yourself, healing yourself, understanding yourself, transforming yourself. And that was necessary. You can't give what you don't have. You can't help others if you're drowning yourself. But now, you're not drowning anymore. You've found your footing. You've found your center. You've found your power. And something inside you is saying, okay, now what? Now use this. Now share this. Now help others. This isn't about forcing yourself to be of service or feeling guilty if you're not saving the world. This is a natural overflow of what you've become. When you're full, you naturally spill over. When you've received so much, you naturally want to give. This might look like helping people in your career. It might look like being more present with your family. It might look like creating art or writing or teaching or just being a more loving presence wherever you go. The form doesn't matter. What matters is the shift from me to we. What matters is that you realize your awakening wasn't just for you. It was for everyone you'll touch, everyone you'll inspire, everyone who will benefit from the light you now carry. When you feel this call to serve, when you feel this desire to contribute, you know your awakening is complete because you've moved from self-focus to self-transcendence. You've moved from taking to giving. And giving is what masters do. Now here's what I really want you to understand. If you're recognizing these signs in yourself, if you're nodding along and thinking, yes, that's me, I'm there, then congratulations. You've done something most people never do. You've woken up, you've seen through the illusion, you've remembered who you really are. But here's the thing, this isn't the end, this is the beginning. This is where the real work starts. This is where you take everything you've learned and you actually live it. You actually use your powers. So what are these powers? What have you gained through this awakening? Let me tell you what you're capable of now. You have the power to create your reality consciously. You're no longer at the mercy of unconscious programming, limiting beliefs, other people's expectations, or random circumstances. You know that your thoughts create your reality. You know that your beliefs shape your experience. You know that your energy attracts your circumstances. And most importantly, you know how to work with these principles. You know how to direct your mind, align your energy, and take inspired action. This doesn't mean you can control everything. It means you can create from a place of intention rather than reacting from a place of fear. You can design your life instead of just surviving it. You have the power to heal yourself and others. Not necessarily physical healing, though that's possible too, but emotional healing, spiritual healing, energetic healing. You've healed so much in yourself during your awakening. You've cleared old wounds, released old patterns, forgiven old hurts. And now you carry that healing frequency. When you're around people, they feel it. They feel safe. They feel seen. They feel like they can be themselves. Your presence alone is healing because you're no longer carrying all that heavy, dense energy. You've lightened up, literally, and that light touches everyone around you. You might not even realize you're doing it, but you are. You're helping people heal just by being who you are. You have the power to see truth. Your intuition is sharp now. You can sense when something is right or wrong, true or false, aligned or misaligned. You don't need to overthink everything or gather endless information to make decisions. You know, you feel it in your body. You hear it in that quiet voice inside. And you trust it. This power to see truth extends beyond your own life. You can see through manipulation, deception, false appearances. You can see people's true intentions. You can see what's really going on beneath the surface. This isn't about being paranoid or suspicious. It's about having clear vision. It's about not being fooled by illusions anymore. And this is incredibly valuable in a world full of illusions. You have the power to love unconditionally. During your awakening, you probably had to learn how to love yourself first. You had to learn how to accept yourself with all your flaws and mistakes and imperfections. And in learning to love yourself, you learned how to love others. Real love. Unconditional love. Not the needy, attached, conditional love that most people call love, but actual love that wants nothing in return, that accepts people as they are, that sees the divine in everyone regardless of their behavior. This kind of love is transformative. It's what the world needs more than anything else. And you have it. You carry it. You can give it freely without depleting yourself because you know it's infinite. It's not coming from you. It's flowing through you. And the more you give it, the more you have. You have the power to be at peace no matter what happens. Life will still have ups and downs. You'll still face challenges, disappointments, losses, difficult times. Your awakening doesn't make you immune to the human experience, but it does change how you experience it. You have this inner stability now, this unshakable peace that exists underneath all the surface waves. When something difficult happens, you can feel the emotion, process it, and then return to peace. You don't get lost in the drama anymore. You don't identify with the story. You know that you're the awareness experiencing the situation, not the situation itself. This peace is your superpower. It allows you to stay calm in chaos, clear in confusion, and loving in conflict. People will wonder how you do it, how you stay so centered. And the answer is simple. You know who you are. You know what's real. And nothing can shake that knowing. You have the power to manifest. Real manifestation, not the superficial kind where you just visualize what you want and hope it appears, but the kind where you align with what you desire so completely that it has no choice but to show up. You understand now that manifestation isn't about manipulating the universe or forcing outcomes. It's about becoming a vibrational match to what you want. It's about clearing the blocks, releasing the resistance, trusting the process, and taking inspired action. You've learned that you can't manifest from a place of lack or desperation. You can only manifest from a place of abundance and trust. And you've cultivated that place within yourself. So now when you want something, you don't chase it. You align with it. You become it internally. And then you watch as it appears in your external world. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's spiritual law. And you know how to work with it. You have the power to inspire. Your life is your message. The way you live, the way you handle challenges, the way you treat people, the way you show up in the world, it all inspires others. You don't have to preach or teach or tell people what to do. You just have to be yourself. Your authentic, awakened, powerful self. And people will notice. They'll see something different in you. They'll feel something when they're around you. They'll want what you have, and without saying a word, you'll show them it's possible. You'll show them that they can wake up too, they can change too, they can find peace too. Your existence becomes proof that another way is possible. And that's incredibly powerful. So now what? Now that you know you're done with the awakening phase, now that you know you have these powers, what do? You use them. Every single day, you use them. You don't go back to sleep. You don't forget what you've learned. You don't slip back into old patterns of fear and limitation and unconsciousness. You stay awake. You stay present. You stay committed to living as the highest version of yourself. And here's how you do it. First, you live in alignment with your truth. Every decision you make, every action you take, every word you speak, ask yourself, is this aligned with who I really am? Is this aligned with what I know to be true? Is this aligned with love, with consciousness, with my highest good? And if the answer is no, don't do it. Even if it's easier, even if it's what others expect, even if it's what you've always done, your job now is to be authentic, to be real, to be true to yourself, because when you live in alignment, everything flows. Opportunities appear, synchronicities happen, life supports you. But when you're out of alignment, everything feels hard, forced, exhausting. So pay attention, stay aligned. This is your compass. Second, you practice presence. The mind wants to pull you into the past or the future. It wants to replay old stories or worry about what might happen. But your power is in the present moment. This moment right here, right now, is where life is happening. This is where your creative power exists. This is where peace exists. This is where love exists. So keep coming back to now. When you notice your mind wandering, bring it back. When you notice yourself getting lost in thought, return to your breath, return to your body, return to what's right in front of you. Presence isn't a meditation technique you do once a day. It's a way of living. It's choosing to be here instead of lost in your head. And the more you practice it, the more powerful you become. Third, you trust the process. You're going to have days where you forget everything you've learned, days where you feel disconnected, uncertain, afraid, days where you wonder if any of this is real or if you just imagined your awakening. This is normal. This is part of being human. Don't panic when this happens. Don't think you failed or fallen backward. Just notice it, acknowledge it, and gently return to what you know. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be. Trust that every experience, even the difficult ones, is serving your evolution. Trust that you're being guided, supported, held by something much bigger than yourself. This trust isn't blind faith. It's based on your experience. You've seen how things work out. You've seen how challenges become blessings. You've seen the intelligence behind everything. So remember that. Trust that. Let it carry you through the moments when you can't see clearly. Fourth, you take care of your energy. You're no longer unconscious about what you consume, who you spend time with, what environments you put yourself in. You know that everything is energy and everything affects your energy. So you become intentional about it. You limit exposure to negativity, drama, toxic people, fear-based media. You surround yourself with things that uplift you, inspire you, nourish you. You protect your energy not from a place of fear, but from a place of wisdom. You know that to do your work in the world, to use your powers, to be of service, you need to stay in a high vibration. And that requires conscious choices. It requires boundaries. It requires saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that fuel you. This isn't selfish. This is necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. Fifth, you keep growing. Just because your awakening is complete doesn't mean your growth is finished. You're always expanding, always evolving, always becoming more. There are always new levels of consciousness to explore, new capacities capacities to develop, new ways to express your gifts. Stay curious, stay open, stay humble. Keep learning, not from a place of seeking or feeling like you're not enough, but from a place of joy and interest. Keep challenging yourself to go beyond what's comfortable. Keep asking yourself, what else is possible? Who else can I become? How else can I serve? Growth is not a destination, it's a direction. And as long as you keep moving in that direction, you'll continue to expand into more of who you really are. Sixth, you share your gifts. You know what you're good at. You know what lights you up. You know what you're here to contribute. So do it. Don't hold back. Don't play small. Don't wait until you feel ready or perfect or qualified enough. You are ready. You are qualified. The fact that you've completed your awakening means you have something valuable to offer. Maybe you're here to teach. Maybe you're here to heal. Maybe you're here to create. Maybe you're here to lead. Maybe you're here to simply love people really well. Whatever it is, do it fully. Do it boldly. Do it without apology. The